All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into a sound you've definitely heard, a syllable chanted in yoga studios and meditation halls all over the world. I mean, we've all heard it, right? Maybe you've even chanted it yourself, but what is really going on there? What's the actual meaning behind it, according to the ancient philosophy where it comes from? Let me tell you, it's way deeper and more fascinating than you might think. So yeah, the sound is everywhere. It's become this global symbol for peace, spirituality, all that good stuff. But in its original context, it's not just some calming vibe. It's a specific word, and it points to a really, really profound concept within yoga philosophy. To really get it, we have to go back to the source. And that source is Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. Think of this as the foundational text for classical yoga. And it's right there, in these ancient threads of wisdom, that we're going to find the key to unlocking what is all about. Okay, so our first clue is the Sanskrit word Īśvara. According to the sutras, is basically the sound, the manifesting word for Īśvara. So you can see where this is going. The real question becomes, what or who is Īśvara? Well, the sutras give us a super precise definition. Īśvara is described as a special Purusha, which you can think of as a unique consciousness or a special kind of being. And what makes it so special? It's completely untouched by all the stuff that causes suffering for the rest of us. Misery, actions, desires, none of it. And this is a really, really important distinction to make. The source text is crystal clear on this. The yogic idea of Īśvara is not a creator god. It's not some judge of your actions. It's not bound by karma or cosmic cycles. This is a purely philosophical concept of perfection. It's different. So you might be wondering, how in the world did the ancient yogis even come up with this concept? Well, the sutras offer these two beautiful logical arguments. The first one is this really powerful deduction that starts with something we all know, the very nature of our own minds. Patanjali kicks things off with a simple observation. He says, look, every single one of us has knowledge, right? But it's limited. He calls this limited capacity the germ or the seed of all knowingness. And that little seed, it's inside every single one of us. And this right here, this is the core of the whole argument, straight from the sutras. It says that this little germ of knowledge that we all carry around, it has to find its infinite, perfected state somewhere, in some being. And that being is Īśvara. Okay, here's where the logic really starts to click. How can we even know that our knowledge is limited unless we can somehow conceive of something unlimited? I mean, think about it for a second. You literally can't think of a finite, limited space without also imagining the infinite space that surrounds it. The same goes for time. The very idea of a limit, it requires the existence of the unlimited. It's baked into how we think. And that source, that state of unlimited, perfect knowledge that our mind has to imagine just to understand its own limits, that is what the yogis call Īśvara. See? It's not about faith. It's presented as a logical necessity that just comes from how our minds perceive the world. All right, on to the second argument. This one is just as elegant, and it focuses on something we've all done, learning. The whole idea here is that the very existence of knowledge points to a first, ultimate teacher. Let's just walk through this step by step. It's pretty straightforward. 1, we learn from teachers. Simple enough. 2, our teachers, well, they had teachers. And 3, all of those teachers, going all the way back, were limited by time. They were born, they lived, they died. So logic kind of demands a first teacher, doesn't it? And if there's a first teacher, that teacher must be unlimited by time. And again, the sutras just state this conclusion so beautifully. Īśvara is that timeless teacher, the ultimate source of all knowledge, which has been passed down through every single generation of teacher that has ever existed. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so we've got Isvara, the state of infinite knowledge, the timeless first teacher. But what on earth does any of this have to do with that sound we started with? Let's bring it all back home and connect it to Om. So the philosophy here is that thought and word are basically two sides of the same coin. They're inseparable. You just can't have one without the other. So if Īśvara is the highest, most universal idea or thought you can possibly have, it must have a word that naturally expresses it. So why Or to be more precise, why AUM? Let's break down the sound itself. It all starts with A. This is like the root sound. It's produced from the very back of the throat, totally open, without your tongue or palate getting in the way. It's the most foundational sound a human can possibly make. Then you've got oo. This sound is the transition. It's the vibration rolling forward along the roof of your mouth, from the back all the way towards your lips. It literally covers the entire middle range of sound production. And finally, M. You make this sound with your lips closed. It's the end point, the final stop for any articulated sound. So you've got the beginning, the middle, and the end of the entire human phonetic spectrum all in one syllable. So what does all this mean? It means AUM isn't just some random word they picked out of a hat. No way. It's called the matrix of all sounds. It contains the entire range of vibration the human voice can produce, and that makes it the most natural, the most fitting symbol for a universal concept like Īśvara. You know, as the source text points out, this is why it was embraced by pretty much every philosophical school in India, whether they were monists, dualists, or even atheists. And this brings us right to the practice itself. The sutras basically say, okay, you want to connect with this idea of Īśvara, this infinite knowledge and timeless teacher? The way to do it is to repeat its symbol, Om, and really meditate on what it means. It's not just making a noise, it's a focus for deep contemplation. So yeah, the next time you hear Om, you'll know. It's not just a calming sound, it's a symbol for the highest potential of consciousness. Which, leaves us with a pretty fascinating thought. What other common symbols do we see every day that hold an entire universe of meaning, just waiting for us to dive in and explore?